The UFC is approaching one of the most historic events in its history, but while fans are focused on championship fights, massive matchups, and the spectacle of a card taking place on one of the biggest stages imaginable, one name continues to dominate almost every conversation. That name is Ilia Topuria. Whether people love him, doubt him, support him, or desperately want to see him lose, there is no denying one reality anymore. Topuria has become one of the most important fighters in the entire sport. And now, standing on the edge of another career-defining moment, he is closer than ever to proving that his reign may only be beginning. What makes Topuria's rise so fascinating is how quickly he transformed from a dangerous contender into one of the faces of modern MMA. It feels like only yesterday that fans were debating whether he deserved a title shot. Today, those same fans are discussing whether he can become one of the greatest fighters of his generation. The shift has been incredible. Every fight, every prediction, every obstacle placed in front of him has ended the same way. Topuria wins. And not only does he win, but he does it with a level of confidence that borders on unbelievable. He speaks about victory as if it is already written before the fight even begins. That confidence has become one of the defining traits of his career. Unlike fighters who carefully avoid making bold predictions, Topuria embraces them. He tells people exactly what he believes is going to happen. He predicts knockouts. He predicts dominance. He predicts greatness. And what makes it even more shocking is that he continues to back those predictions up. Every successful performance adds another layer to his growing legend and leaves fans wondering whether they are witnessing the beginning of something truly special. Now, with another enormous challenge directly ahead of him, the stakes have never been higher. The upcoming showdown with Justin Gaethje represents far more than just another title defense or another victory opportunity. This is the kind of fight that can elevate a champion into superstardom. Gaethje is not simply another contender. He is one of the most respected warriors in UFC history, a fighter known for chaos, violence, and the ability to end a fight at any moment. Defeating someone like Gaethje would send a message to the entire sport that Topuria is not simply passing through the lightweight division. He is here to rule it. What makes this matchup even more intriguing is the contrast between the two men. Gaethje built his career on pressure, aggression, and constant forward movement. Topuria, meanwhile, combines technical precision with devastating power and an incredible ability to remain calm under pressure. Fans are already debating how the fight might unfold. Some believe Gaethje's relentless style could create problems. Others believe Topuria possesses the timing, accuracy, and composure necessary to neutralize everything Gaethje brings to the cage. Whatever happens, the anticipation continues to grow with every passing day. The remarkable thing is that Topuria's future is generating almost as much discussion as his next fight. While many champions focus only on the challenge immediately ahead, fans and analysts are already looking beyond Gaethje. They are talking about super fights. They are talking about multiple weight classes. They are talking about legacy. And perhaps most importantly, they are talking about Islam Makhachev. For many people, that potential matchup represents one of the biggest fights the UFC could possibly make. Recently, Topuria addressed that possibility once again. His answer was exactly what fans have come to expect from him. He did not sound intimidated. He did not sound hesitant. He did not sound concerned about moving up in weight or facing one of the most dominant champions in the sport. Instead, he sounded excited. He made it clear that if the UFC offers him the opportunity, he would gladly accept it. That mentality is one of the reasons his popularity continues to grow. Fans appreciate champions who actively seek challenges rather than avoid them. For Topuria, the conversation has never been about taking the easiest path. It has always been about building a legacy. He understands that greatness is measured differently from success. Success can be achieved through titles and victories. Greatness requires something more. It requires risk. It requires difficult opponents. It requires moments that fans will remember forever. That is exactly why the possibility of facing Makhachev continues to attract so much attention. At the same time, Topuria has also shown that he is thinking carefully about his career. He understands the importance of timing. Jumping into massive fights simply because they sound exciting is not always the smartest decision. Every move must be calculated. Every opportunity must be evaluated. And while he is clearly interested in testing himself against Makhachev, He also understands that there are unfinished chapters in his current division. One of those chapters is Arman Tsarukyan. Few names generate as much debate among hardcore MMA fans. Many analysts believe Tsarukyan represents one of the toughest stylistic challenges available at lightweight. His wrestling, conditioning, and overall skill set make him a nightmare matchup for almost anyone. That is why so many observers continue to bring his name into conversations about Topuria's future. Interestingly, Topuria has not dismissed those discussions. In fact, he has openly acknowledged the significance of a potential fight with Tsarukyan. For a fighter obsessed with legacy, defeating elite contenders matters. It is not enough to simply hold a championship belt. The true goal is to remove every possible question mark. The true goal is to build a resume so strong that future generations have no choice but to respect it. What separates Topuria from many champions is his mindset. There are fighters who become champions and immediately begin protecting what they have achieved. Topuria seems determined to do the opposite. He wants bigger fights. He wants tougher challenges. He wants opportunities that other fighters might avoid. That mentality is exactly why his fan base continues to expand across the world. His rise has been especially impressive because it extends beyond results. Plenty of fighters win. Very few become stars. Topuria has managed to accomplish both. He possesses the confidence, charisma, and self-belief necessary to attract attention even outside the cage. Every interview creates headlines. Every prediction becomes a talking point. Every appearance generates discussion. In an era where personality matters almost as much as performance, Topuria has mastered both sides of the equation. That growing popularity recently became the subject of debate when Usman Nurmagomedov shared his thoughts on Topuria's level of fame. Usman compared the attention surrounding Topuria's upcoming fights to the legendary build-up between Khabib Nurmagomedov and Conor McGregor. According to Usman, the difference remains enormous. He argued that the Khabib-McGregor rivalry reached a level of global awareness that current UFC storylines have not yet matched. The comments immediately sparked controversy among fans. Some agreed. Others strongly disagreed. But perhaps the most interesting aspect of the debate was the fact that Topuria's name was even being mentioned in the same conversation as one of the biggest rivalries in combat sports history. Whether people agree with Usman's assessment or not, the comparison itself demonstrates how far Topuria has come. Many supporters believe Topuria's popularity is still growing and that his biggest moments have not even happened yet. They point to his undefeated record, his championship success, and his increasing international presence as evidence that he is still climbing. Unlike some stars who reach their peak quickly, Topuria appears to be gaining momentum with every fight. Each victory introduces him to a larger audience. Each accomplishment attracts new supporters. There is also another important factor working in his favor. Topuria understands the modern fight game. He understands how narratives are built. He understands how rivalries capture attention. He understands how confidence generates headlines. Most importantly, he understands that being remembered requires more than simply winning fights. It requires creating moments. It requires creating stories. As a result, every step of his career feels larger than the previous one. When he became champion, many wondered whether he could handle the pressure. He did. When he faced elite competition, many questioned whether he belonged at the highest level. He answered those questions. Now people are asking whether he can become a multi-division champion and cement himself among the greatest fighters of his era. The possibility of fighting Islam Makhachev represents the ultimate test. Not because Makhachev is unbeatable, but because of everything the fight would symbolize. It would represent ambition. It would represent risk. It would represent a champion willingly stepping into unknown territory in pursuit of greatness. Those are the moments that define careers. Of course, none of this matters if Topuria fails against Gaethje. That reality hangs over every future discussion. Championships can disappear in a single night. Plans can change in a single round. Legacies can take unexpected turns in a matter of seconds. Topuria understands this better than anyone. That is why, despite all the conversations about Makhachev, Tsarukyan, and future opportunities, his immediate focus remains exactly where it should be. Still, it is impossible for fans not to imagine what comes next. If he defeats Gaethje, his star power will reach another level. If he eventually defeats Tsarukyan, his lightweight legacy will become even stronger. And if he someday steps into the cage against Makhachev and wins, he could become one of the defining figures of an entire generation of mixed martial arts. The incredible thing is that none of those scenarios feel impossible. A few years ago, many fans would have dismissed such predictions as fantasy. Today, they sound realistic. That is the biggest compliment any fighter can receive. Topuria has reached a point where greatness is no longer viewed as an unrealistic dream. It is viewed as a legitimate possibility. As the UFC moves closer to one of its most important events, all eyes remain fixed on Ilia Topuria. Some are waiting for him to prove his greatness once again. Others are waiting for someone to finally stop him. But regardless of where fans stand, everyone is watching. Everyone is paying attention. And that alone says everything about the position he now occupies within the sport. The next chapter of his career may be the most important one yet. A victory could open the door to historic opportunities. A dominant performance could silence remaining critics. And another unforgettable moment could bring him one step closer to the status he has been chasing since the beginning. Not just champion, but legend. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Ilia Topuria defeats Justin Gaethje? Should he fight Arman Tsarukyan next, or move up and challenge Islam Makhachev? Let us know what you think, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more UFC news, analysis, and exclusive coverage. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.